Hey guys. Once again, I say that like as if there's actually people here. There isn't any people here, but hopefully soon. I haven't done a politics show in a couple of days, so I'm looking forward to this. We got a lot to talk about. Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning. You know, there's word that Lauren Boebert and Thomas Massey might be next. I don't really think so though. Trump glazed Mamdani, basically, blew him in the Oval Office. So that's something we got to talk about. Pat Travelino, what's up, bro? Yeah, Mike, I saw your question right after I ended the show a minute ago. Yeah, bro. Somebody no, I went live yesterday afternoon and then I went shut up, ducks. And then I went live last night and somebody struck me for a copyright violation. And I wound up losing access to my channel for that's not the real Tony B. If it's the real Tony B, text me, but it's not. Yeah, I lost access to my channel. I couldn't do live streams. I couldn't upload. I couldn't do anything. So I was using my other channel, but everything got worked out tonight. So I'm back. Now we got to talk about politics. He has a wrench. Oh, okay. All right. It is Tony B. All right. Yeah. Somebody came in with that same name on the last show and said, oh, or on the show I started a little while ago and then ended, and it said, oh, what a pussy. So I thought it was a fake one. I don't know. Nick Valente, what's up, man? Thank you, brother. Mimi Wunsch. Trump is a pig. He is a fucking pig. He sucks. With the same avatar? I'm not sure about the avatar. Tom Sheehy, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. I got I got access to my fucking channel back. What do you think? Am I wrong? About what? About what, Pat? Simon, Hakeem Jeffries asked for money from Epstein after he was a convicted sex offender. Hakeem Jeffries is a scumbag. I'm not even surprised. He's a fucking scumbag. I never liked that motherfucker. Never. So there's that. Trump's good thing. What do you mean? What? I don't know. Shut up, Piggy. He said, what the fuck? Oh, I got to be honest. I'm just being honest. It really did sound to me like he said McGee. I thought that I heard it when it was live and I thought he said McGee. And then I was listening to something yesterday and somebody said that he said McGee. I mean, I don't know why he'd say that, but it doesn't sound like Piggy when you listen to it. It really doesn't. Oh, yeah, Simon. I would never defend that cocksucker or Chuck Schumer. Fuck both of them. The First Step Act. Oh, yeah. No, that's good. But you didn't put anything like that in the chat. You just said, am I wrong? I don't know, bro. Then you said Trump's good thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he did say Piggy, but it sounded like he said McGee to me. But either way, he's a fucking animal. He's an animal. I just want to know how MAGA's doing with Trump glazing Mamdani. I really want to know. How do they feel about that? He was praising that motherfucker. It's like he forgot all about J.D. Vance. He was going to try to make Mamdani his fucking vice president. Looks like Pelosi made enough money and is leaving now. Good. Fuck her, too. It looks like the same thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene because she made millions off of Trump crashing the stock market, She made millions on the recovery because she knew exactly what he was going to do. He was going to put the tariffs on and then pause them. So the stock market crashed and then it recovered and she made a fucking fortune. They say she made between like $7 and $20 million, something like that. So Trump's kids made a fortune on it too, Barron specifically. I should have just made one post. Sorry for confusing. It's all good, man. 41 people. Everybody, please hit the like and subscribe. It's very important that you do so. Very. I am running on fumes, guys. I drove 10 hours today. I've only been home since about 6:30 or something, and I haven't eaten since noon. Insider traders, yeah. Good night, guys. Way too late for me. Glad you're okay, brother. All right, man. Have a good night. And yeah, I am. Thanks, man. Hunter Biden made millions from Ukraine. Yeah, probably, but who cares? He wasn't the president. I mean, he didn't make more than Don and Eric, Don Jr. and Eric are making. That's for sure. I think the question should be, what does MAGA think about Trump sending weapons to Israel that were used to burn a little girl alive at school? Oh, I didn't even know about that JL contracting. I've been so busy the last week. I was out of town since last Sunday. So, wow, I didn't even know that. That's just speculation, though. That crypto account hasn't been identified to my knowledge. Which one? You mean Barron? Barron's net worth is $150 million now. $150 million. Wow, you drove all that time. Yeah, bro. What's my opinion on the First Step Act? I don't know. I mean, it could be good, but it could also be bad. I mean, look who's gotten released because of the First Step Act. Robert Rosso. You know, the Gemini twins. I think Bruno and Bruno and Delicato, I think, right? Whack Whack. Tommy Reynolds. So I love the cope from UF word. Oh, that's a bad word to use for YouTube. That's no good. Got to get rid of you. Don't just give Mike Ramey, by the way. Don't just give Barron or the other Trump kids the benefit of the doubt because you like Trump. No. You got to be fair. You got to be fair. Yeah, Bruno is out. Yeah, and I think that's what, didn't he get compassionate release too? This fucking no talent, ill and Isle, the fucking asshole, informed low IQ, criminal, illegal, loving, libtard ass clown again. Oh, Epstein. Oh, Muslims. Oh, January 6th, fake, dumb, fuck, deport yourself, clown, MAGA. All right. Another intelligent Trump supporter right there. Mike Ramey, yeah, but that account made 200 million short in crypto right before Trump made that speech that crashed. It hasn't been tied to anyone. I don't know, man. I'm going to research it more, but as far as I know, I mean, it's a fact that Barron made a fortune with his friends off of what Trump did, which is just simple insider trading. That's all it was. I know there's quite a bit of controversy about it. And again, Marjorie Taylor Greene made a fortune. And so did the other people. I mean, Trump doesn't even hide that the whole thing was just, he crashed the economy on purpose just to make his rich friends richer. I mean, he did. He stood there with with billionaires in the Oval Office. And he said, this one made 20 billion. This one made 10 billion. He was thrilled about it. So, I mean, Mike, if you deny that's why he did that, I don't know. We got to disagree. I think Mamdani is a mole. You think? How old is Barron Trump? 18, I think. I mean, it probably was someone close to Trump, though. Yeah, like Barron. But I mean, you got it as long as you admit. I mean, listen. There's never been a president as corrupt. Never. Now, people are still bringing up Hunter Biden. They're just completely glossing over Trump, the current president, who's making billions off of the office. I like how the Epstein files are almost completely out of the news. It's almost like Democrats don't really care about the victims. They just wanted to hurt Trump. They failed again. No, they didn't. And I don't think the Epstein files are out of the news at all. And if they are, the reason might be because now everything is in place and they're supposed to be released in 30 days. So there's probably not as much of a reason to talk about them anymore. Now, Trump could release them right now if he wants to, but and they didn't fail anything. Donald Trump, fuck off. Charles, I mean, anybody who doubts he's a pedo now, you're probably a pedo too. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking clowns. Guy's a sick fuck, Trump. Sick in the head. They're like, no. Democrats they just want to hurt Trump. Democrats want to expose pedophiles. I've even heard Democrat politicians over the last few days say, even if there's other Democrat politicians, good, fuck them too. Let them get locked up if they did something wrong. See, whether you believe this or not, Charles Herzog, we want pedos in general to be locked up. We don't care who they are, even if it's our favorite politician, whoever that might be. You guys would rather 1,000 pedophiles get away with it as long as Trump doesn't get exposed for the pedo that he is. Well, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything, pretty tings? How many times was the guy let out that stabbed a young woman on the train in North Carolina? I don't know. But what does that have to do with anything, Simon? I'm against that. That was a superstar trade. It's definitely suspicious. Of course. The rich provide and pay more taxes than anyone. Oh, here we go. Simon's one of the dummies that has been convinced. I don't even know where that came from, by the way. Has been convinced that the rich people need more money and the poor people, fuck them. You know, that's Simon. That's what he's been convinced of. The greatest trick Republicans ever pulled on the American people. Yeah. Yeah. Trump is the king of crypto corruption. Yeah. You know what's funny too is, remember, I mean, he hated crypto. Remember? Till he had a meeting with a bunch of crypto billionaires, one of them being Elon Musk, and then all of a sudden he loved crypto. Same thing with electric cars. Hated electric cars. Till Elon decided to fund his whole fucking campaign. And then he was like, electric cars are the shit. I'm even going to buy one for myself. How long will you continue this witch hunt? Until the witch is caught and jailed. What do you mean, Charles? It's not a witch hunt. Your boy is guilty. How much has Trump lost in court costs? Oh, I don't know, but hopefully zillions. You know what I mean? But now, you know, he wants to take $230 million from the Department of Defense, or the Department of Justice. Trump's a diplomat, sure. Yes? Hold on. Where were they? All right. Dogs, who'd you say fuck off to? Me? They had access to the Epstein files while Biden was in office. They had access to the Epstein files while Trump was in office before Biden, too. So they filed a lawsuit for mishandling the files and cover up. Who? What are you talking about? Trump's name is in the Epstein files over 2,000 times. I don't know about the files. I'd assume it's in there way more than that. But the emails, the 20,000 emails that were released, his name is in them 1,600 and something fucking times. No, he didn't. That was a just bullshit video. We looked that up and we debunked that like a week ago. He never sniffed any kids. But Trump has talked about fucking his own daughter since she was 4 years old. And he said that he'll be dating a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. And he's done all the sick shit he's done. And you voted for that, you stupid fuck. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but you can't explain that to them, though. I just have a hard time believing Democrats after they've been proven wrong so many times. They've been proven wrong? Like about what? Tell me about what? What have they been proven wrong about? Oh, yeah, without a doubt. My employer is a homeless person. Good. He has the most corrupt administration. Trump? Yeah, Trump does. More Democrats are billionaires. Yeah, right. Yeah, did you notice Trump's table at his inauguration? Who he had sitting with him? Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos. Like literally, the richest people in the world are with Trump. So shut up. I don't know what's BS. This guy just said that's BS. Democrats loved electric cars until Elon supported Trump. Then they decided to set them on fire. No, I think Democrats still love electric cars. It was probably Elon, doing the Heil Hitler that got them to do that. First impeachment, false. The second impeachment, false. They tried to arrest him, failed again. Now this time they are going to get him, right? Charles, no impeachment was proven false. I don't think you understand what an impeachment is. The only reason he wasn't convicted and removed is because the Republicans were in charge of the Senate at the time. And they would never do that. They do whatever he says because he controls their political futures. Otherwise, he would have been. You know what I mean? Just like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton wasn't removed from office. He was just impeached, except Trump was impeached twice. And they tried to arrest him and failed. When did they try to arrest him? Because they didn't try to. They did arrest him. And he is a 34-time convicted felon, and he was found civilly liable for sexual assault, and he lost a fuck ton of lawsuits and owes probably still billions of dollars. Comey is not going to jail, you dipshit. That whole thing's getting thrown out anyway because of how that pig fucking went about indicting him. None, Simon, that we know of. No, and I'll tell you what, if I'm wrong, you go get me the credible source, because there's no proof he went to the island. None. Trump needs to go bye-bye. I'm not surprised he hasn't been impeached, but I wish he was. Me too. Biden took a bath with his daughter. It's amazing how you guys changed that story. She literally said showers that were probably not appropriate. And then you guys changed it to he fingered her, he was molesting her, to now it's he took a bath with her. Sure. No, they don't. You don't vote? All right. Obama drones children and talks in code about hot dogs and pizza. Oh God. Oh my God. You know what's funny? I was listening to some shit about that nutty stuff. They don't believe Trump's a pedo, but remember Pizzagate? And then obviously this asshole is one of the people who believed Pizzagate. Yeah. And of course, it turned out there's nothing going on. Nothing. They got a pizza place shot up or some shit, and there was nothing going on. The diddlers are in the Republican Party. The Epstein Oversight Committee filed a lawsuit against the DOJ and FBI for Epstein file cover-up. Good. You mean under Trump, this administration? Where do you get that stuff about his daughters? Here, I'll show you. Historically, he's spoken many, many times about his daughters in a sexual manner, their bodies. There's clips where he's speculating whether or not his 4-year-old daughter Tiffany will have big titties like her mother Marla Maples. You know, he calls Ivanka voluptuous, which means curvy and attractive. Here.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
Yeah. She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I stand in there with no sweat.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
There you go. Now you go ahead and justify that because that's exactly what you guys will do. I guess you're not bright enough to figure out that you keep your friends close and enemies closer. What is that in reference to? I don't understand. Now talk about how all those felonies were based on a single misdemeanor and they had to change the laws to charge him, and all those claims were dropped. Okay, that's completely untrue. They're felonies because there were misdemeanors committed or for the to cover up a crime. He was committing misdemeanors to cover up a crime, which makes them a felony. Okay, makes them felonies, I should say. You can look that up yourself. And they didn't have to change any laws. Andrew Cuomo froze the statute of limitations during COVID, like a lot of states and cities did. You know what I mean? And what claims were dropped? He got found civilly liable for sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll. That's a fact. And all 34 of those felonies stuck, and he's a convicted felon to this day. Oh, yeah. I got struck last night. Yeah. I guess you're not. Oh, I read that one. Let me see. Obama killed children in a school. Yeah, I was disgusted with his drone program. Yep. But I think it's fair to say Republicans are responsible for many, many, many children being killed in schools, except they're on U.S. soil. You know, how do you vote for Trump or Harris? Well, you go to a voting booth and you pull the lever, you fill out the ballot, and then that's it. That's how you do it. Let me see. No, that was already debunked a million times. You're just a psychopath who wants to believe it because you want to believe it. But in reality, you don't care about pedophilia at all. Otherwise, you'd be against Trump covering up the Epstein files. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, because I'm showing you things you don't like to see, right? Fuckface, leave. Who cares? Look, I'm a Democrat, not a MAGA Republican. That's good to know. He called Ivanka voluptuous. Yep. Voluptuous. Yes. I can't stand liberals who act like petulant children. We won, your side lost. Now sit down and shut the fuck up. Now, this is a guy with a stunning lack of self-awareness. And why do I say that? Very simple. I guarantee you, to this day, he claims that Trump won the 2020 election and Biden lost. I guarantee it. And I guarantee you all 4 years Biden was in office, he bitched and moaned like a petulant little child. Guarantee it. It's so funny when you guys say that after 4 years of doing what you did. Now you're lying. Look, you're Y-O-U-R. Now you're lying. You're a sick man. Y-O-U-R again. Y-O-U-R again. Literally just repeating people's words saying Trump said those things. You have to twist the truth. No, unfortunately for you, the stuff that was the worst, you heard Trump say it with his own fucking words. So you ain't got to believe the people reporting anything. You heard Trump say, see that? You see her? I'll be dating her in 10 years. He was pointing at a 10-year-old fucking girl. Okay. You heard Trump talk about his daughter's bodies. You heard that with your own ears. It's not about what anybody told you. And somehow Howard Stern being a scumbag made it into the clip. No. See, that's what you guys do. You can't hold Trump accountable for anything. So what Trump did on Howard Stern's show is somehow Howard Stern's fault. And no, people just took the clip from the show. But believe me, I heard it when it was happening in real time. Okay, I heard it when the show was live. I'm a huge Howard Stern fan. And in context, that's what it was. He was talking about his daughter. Howard Stern said she's a piece of ass, and he said, "Yeah, she's always been very beautiful. She's always been very voluptuous." Okay, so he's talking about Ivanka, voluptuous. That means curvy and attractive, and that's not the only time. He said on The View when they asked Ivanka, "What do you have in common with your dad?" She said real estate and golf. When they asked him, he said sex. Figure that one out. Sex with your daughter, okay. Also, he said, if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. But no, none of that's weird. Lies, lies, and more easily debunked lies. Okay, debunked them. Trump said his niece Mary had a nice rack when she was a teenager. Oh, I guarantee it. Look at this gay guy in the chat. I'm your Huckleberry. It's the gayest fucking expression in the world. So this is proof he was on the island? No. I see. I don't claim Trump was on the island. There's no proof he was on the island. And there's also no proof Clinton was on the island. But you guys will lie and say Clinton was, even though there's no proof. No. I mean, is there good reason to believe Trump might have been? Yeah. But we don't know that he has. And I haven't said that he has. I just said he's a pedo. I believe the girl that accused him of raping her when she was 13. If you're not a bleeding heart liberal when you're 20 years old, you have no heart. If you're still a bleeding heart liberal at 30, you have no brain. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You got conned by the most well-known, most famous con man in the history of the world. A guy who everybody knows is a con artist, a scammer. And you got tricked by him, and you continue getting tricked by him day after day. And you're talking about us having no brain. You guys are literally in a cult. You're fucking brainwashed. You're dumb as a box of rocks, every one of you. And you don't even understand you're being fooled. What's sick is people attacking Trump out of context clips. Just tell me the clip you want to see in context, and I'll show you the clip in context. Any clip from what I just showed you, I could pull up the entire clip and you'll see it in context. Nothing there was taken out of context. No, me neither. Me neither. What were the felonies? It was it was 34 counts of falsifying business records, which are misdemeanors, but he did it in order to cover up for a crime. That's what makes them felonies. You understand? Every charge, or at least lots of charges, they have what's called enhancements to them. And depending on certain conditions, you know, it could be a drug dealer. He gets caught selling drugs, but he has a gun on him. Now, it's a more serious charge. It's a whole other charge. There's an enhancement, you know. There's every crime, every serious crime, I guess you could say, there could be enhancements to it. So because he was committing those misdemeanors as a way to cover up a crime, they became felonies. And you can't get convicted of a felony that doesn't exist. Only real felonies. And meanwhile, if it was Biden who got convicted of those felonies, you'd be like, yeah, they're like murder. He basically committed murder 34 times. You're all so full of shit. Is that right? It means you're a dumbass. Trump is playing you Democrats like he did with the list. Cannibalism at its finest. You guys are so fucking stupid. You just can't believe that the most disgusting man on earth is a pedo, can you? You just gotta, I know he's playing 4D chess, right? He's been playing 4D chess for 10 years now. Sure. It's done him a lot of good. No. You pick any clip that I played and say, Chris, play the whole clip in context, and I will pull the whole clip and show you, and then we'll see what you say. Adultery? No, there's no such criminal charge as adultery. Yeah, it wasn't for adultery. Why are you guys saying that? It was for falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to a porn star he fucked while his wife was at home with their newborn child. About Carol, she has no proof she lied. Well, guess what? 12 jurors who were all picked not only by the prosecution, but by Trump's attorneys too, said that he was civilly liable for rape, sexual assault. I don't know, but I don't think children can transition. I think this is another thing that's all in your fucking heads. If Trump had a bigger dick, he would be in bigger trouble, but it just takes one to make a creepy pedophile. Yes. You're full of it, YOUR. Trump's convictions were classified as felonies because prosecutors proved that his falsification of business records was done to conceal or further another crime. Exactly. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. I didn't get to do one of these shows yesterday, and I got to catch up. So hit the like and subscribe right now. Come on. Hit the like as much as you can, all of you. Actually, you only got to do it once. And subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to, send a super chat. This way your comment will get read and you'll be contributing to the show. And if you would like my Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, I'll gladly throw that in the chat. Show us the clip of that Congresswoman texting Jeffrey Epstein. Show us the video and then show us the Epstein files of the exact time she was fed answers. Well, I think you're stretching it by saying she was fed answers. I don't know, though. I'll have to research it more, but I'm not here to defend her. What about her? Fuck her, stupid bitch. Anybody who had anything to do with that cocksucker, fuck them. You are the stupid one. Were you with Biden? We are you with Biden? Well said. Yeah, I'm a big dummy. Of course, I would fucking demolish you in a debate, destroy you. You would be cheering for Trump if it was a Democrat. No, I wouldn't. No fucking way would I. What do you mean? I talk shit about Democrats too. Fucking kidding. I'm not in a cult. You're in a cult. Donald Trump couldn't run as a Democrat because people like me would never vote for a rapist. Never. Only you guys, you animals, you scum of the earth, low life, fucking bottom of the barrel douchebags would actually vote for a piece of shit like him. That's why nobody has any respect for any of you. Mark Askew, $2. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. No one really cares. Trump throated Bill C, but the Epstein and his gang of Democrat kiddo rapists are definitely a concern. Epstein and his gang of Democrat. Okay, which Democrats exactly, Gray Shorts? I'm curious. Which ones? Show me, tell me a Democrat who's in those emails between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell more than Donald Trump. If Trump goes to prison, he'll get his grippers worn out by the gods. Never heard that one before. For Trump to hang around nothing but PDF files, that's very telling on who Trump really is. Of course, yeah. His spiritual advisor, Robert Morris, just got busted for pedophilia. Trump's spiritual advisor. Imagine that. Let me see. What did Kamala say or do better? Okay, so leave, go get her, whatever your name is. Who gives a fuck about you? Die, choke on a cock and die. Kamala, what do you mean? Like when Trump was screaming about they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, and Kamala was laying out policy proposals and shit. She said a lot of stuff better. What do you mean? I know she's never been accused of raping a child, too, so that's always a plus. Yeah, I know. Defend your Dem pedos, buddy, especially how Biden showered with his daughter. Yeah, and she never made any claim that he molested her in any way, you know. Trump has done much more disgusting things with his daughters. There's pictures of Trump sitting with Ivanka in a way that is just bizarre. It's the way a boyfriend sits with his girlfriend or a husband sits with his wife. It's a creepy family. And you know that your president is a pedo. Didn't get a chance to do it, but you had on... Wait, what? You had an border policy for increasing the amount of personnel that were there and increasing the amount of personnel that ran the courts to process fast. You talking about the bipartisan border bill that Trump shot down because he doesn't care about the border? He just wanted the issue to run on? Yeah, no doubt. Oh, should I? Nobody brought up the Southern strategy yet. As soon as somebody says there was no big switch, I'll play it. Yeah, that's completely untrue. And one of his sons is dead, so he only has one son. And you just made that up. I mean, I heard somebody in here say that before. Why would anybody call Joe Biden Peter? Why wouldn't you call him Chomo Joe? See, that's just off the top of my head. Why wouldn't they call him Chomo Joe? Why would they call him a pedo Peter? Fucking loser. You're not even creative with your lies. You're not even creative. Yeah, no doubt. I have less respect for women who voted for Trump. Of course. Yeah. How could you not? There's a lot of, groups of people in this country who voted for a guy who despises them, Guys, hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. Please don't let me down. Yeah, I'd have to, I beg to differ, fuckface, because I do pretty well on YouTube, But here, you know what? Since you got such a problem with me, I'll tell you what I'll do. Here you go. Now you ain't got to worry about it no more. But you'll still be watching because you're on my dick. Oh, he does. Trump does. Yeah, of course. On the border, we didn't need a new bill, just a new president. But that bipartisan border bill would have helped, according to even Republicans, would have helped a lot. But Trump told them, no, do not vote on that because I need that issue to run on. Because without the border to run on, Trump would have never gotten elected in 2024. And he knew that. So that's how much he cares about the border. Although Biden could have done other shit and he didn't. So I'll say that. Behavior bender. There was no big switch, you twit. Yeah, except for the big switch. You're right. Biden was at the meeting for the Southern Strategy. This is a fact. We're also a fact that he has the table that the documents were sold on that were given to him as a gift. Is that right? Nice. I'm glad people like you exist. I sometimes feel like the crazy one for wondering why so many people are supporting a pedo like Trump. It's because they're sick and they don't care about pedophilia. They hate Democrats, so they try to pin shit on Democrats like Pizzagate. You know what I mean? When it's Trump that's the pedophile, they're like, listen to Megyn Kelly. What pedophilia? You know what I mean? Megyn Kelly said he just liked the girls. Epstein just liked girls that were, 15, barely legal. No. Barely legal is 18. That means you're barely legal, but you are legal. Megyn Kelly says they're 15-year-olds, so who cares? Meanwhile, if you go back into Jeffrey Epstein's, into the information that's out there about him, and on the Department of Justice.gov, no less, it says that many of his victims were as young as 13 years old. No, MAGA doesn't understand that normal people don't care what political persuasion a PDF is and believes they should all face justice. Sick people. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Listen, anybody, of course there was David Sullivan. Anybody who did anything to a child should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. And let me tell you, if my best friend was even accused of such a crime, wouldn't be my best friend no more. I'd never speak to him again. Never again. Biden is a confirmed pedo by both Ashley and Hunter, but since he's team blue, you have to defend it. No, you go get it. You're just a fraud like all these other MAGA frauds. You just literally made that up. You could look it up right now. I've read it on this show many times. Ashley Biden, not only did she say that her words were grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context in that diary, but she said her dad never did anything to hurt her. She introduced him at the DNC. She's with him all the time. She loves him to death. How's Ivanka been doing? Anybody seen her around Donald Trump lately? She is. She's a pig. Oh, they'll support him. They don't care. He can rape a little girl on live TV tomorrow. And they'll be fine with it. They don't care. As long as it's Trump doing it, it's okay. You buy everything the Dems are selling. It's hilarious. Learn to critically think for yourself. You may learn you are wrong on several points. I'm praying you will one day see the light. Don't pray for me. Why waste your time? No, you couldn't be more wrong, and you look like an asshole because so far during this live stream, I've bashed Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer. I've said negative things about Obama and Biden. So no, you guys project everything onto us. You guys are sick. You know what I mean? And you don't know how to critically think. You are not critical thinkers. If you were, you could never be conned by Donald Trump. You all have an IQ of about 70. And you're all as dumb as a box of rocks. That's how you could be fooled by the world's most well-known con man. You know what I mean? So you guys listen to Fox News and Donald Trump, and you soak in that information, and you think you know shit. You don't know anything. And KS, whatever your name is, I'll bring you on here to debate you right now if you want. Yeah, who would those movie star rapists be? It's funny how so many people in Trump's administration have been accused of sexual assault. Isn't that funny? Totally inconsistent with how Biden acted with little girls on camera. The Dems are the pedo party yet you project onto Trump. No, go get it. It's all in your head, bro. Some guy tried to call out Biden the other day. He was like, play this compilation of Trump, getting, being weird with little girls. And it was literally just how any older man, old man, I guess I'll say, would act with girls. I mean, he didn't do anything inappropriate whatsoever. I watched the whole fucking thing, and I'd call him out in a heartbeat if he did. But you guys, you don't care about pedos. You have no problem with pedophiles. You probably are pedophiles yourselves. You're all disgraceful people. I wouldn't doubt it. It's just that if you see something bad you can say about a Democrat, you literally see shit that's not there. Somebody could show you a video of Biden doing nothing wrong, and if you want to see him doing something wrong, that's what you'll see. And Trump, it's the opposite. You can watch Trump do all types of fucked up shit, but you don't want to see that, so you won't. You won't even acknowledge it. Look up how many families of children, boys and girls, Trump has settled out of court with in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when hush money was at an all-time high. Oh, yeah. A 10-year-old fucking boy. He paid off the family because the boy accused him of some sort of sexual assault. A boy. And he paid. So why do you think he did that? It's hilarious. That's not true. If Trump was to be found guilty of doing something wrong and charged with it and found guilty, he's no longer my president. Well, he was already convicted of 34 felonies. But I don't believe you, David Diaz. If you're a MAGA person, if you're full-fledged MAGA, it's okay if he's a pedo. You don't mind. Thank you, Seth. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe. It's very, very important. Do it now before you forget. Hit the like button. I want to get mad likes here. And subscribe. I do shows like this every day. And send a super chat or some sort of donation. That's how you contribute to the show. And it makes me more likely to do more of these shows more often. Let me see. Let me just throw this here in case anybody needs it. There you go. All right. She said she had to wait. What is that? WATE. What is that word? Late at night to take a shower, or her dad would get in the shower with her. Yeah, no, she didn't. She absolutely did not. She said she was a child, and she never even said what age she was. Felony just mean your street cred is strong. Oh, yeah. But if Biden was a felon, though, you guys would have been bitching. Biden's a felon. How could he be president? And felonies could be as simple as 900 plus of theft, and boom, you get a felony. Yeah. I guess somebody was getting at, if Trump was really a felon, he would have gone to jail. I get that every show. You don't necessarily go to jail for every felony. You don't. I know people who were busted selling weed and shit. It was possession with intent to deliver, so they got a felony, but they got probation or whatever, suspended sentence. Now, Trump was going to be sentenced, possibly to jail, but most likely to probation or something. But, the sentencing was like 10 days before he became president. So they did what's called an unconditional discharge. And they said, it affirms that he's a felon, but he's just not going to be sentenced to any penalty. Ivan LeBlanc, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Ivan. I appreciate it. Guys, hit the like button and subscribe. Well, in his defense, people always accuse rich people. Yeah, but isn't it funny, Corey, that he was accused 27 times since the 70s? Long before he was a zillionaire and long before, he ran for president. Although, how come people like Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and, what's his name? Mark Cuban. How come none of them were ever accused of sexual assault? And they were all a lot richer than Donald Trump ever was. Felonies weren't fake. Do you just don't want to know the truth? Do you want to obey the facts, or do you want to get off a convicted liar? And remember the word liar when he talks, it's not the truth. That's right, Kevin Howe. It's not a typical comeback. It's a fact. I know you guys are allergic to facts, but a typical comeback is Biden sniffs kids. That's a typical comeback. The fact remains that Trump is, a 34-time felon. Now, guys, I'm going to play a little cartoon with my friend Steve Bannon. Please stick around. Don't leave. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll be right back. I want to let Steve tell you guys about yourselves. But first, he'll tell you about the party switch.
It's pretty simple to explain. Basically, when Nixon was discovered having committed Watergate, people thought the Republican Party was washed up. But a clever staffer on in Nixon's White House came up with an idea for how to get more new Republican voters to replace all the people that were turned off by the corruption that had just been exposed, and perhaps save the party. His name was Lee Atwater. And he said, I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party. And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all of these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started to have political ambitions. Now, it turns out Trump has an IQ of about 73. He barely functions as an adult. If it were not for the fact that his father gave him a lot of money, he wouldn't be able to function as an adult. Trump has less money now than he would have had if he'd just taken the money he got from his father and put it in an index fund in the stock market and just let it sit. But he's gradually played around with it all these years and lost it in all his lawsuits and so forth, and his 6 bankruptcies, and he has dissipated a fortune over his lifetime. Now, he's had the Russians for the last 20 years to bail him out, but ordinary people cannot be as dumb as Trump and still function. But Trump came out onto the public stage and started talking boldly like he wanted to do things politically and help the people of America, and he speaks like a third grader, because that's what somebody with an IQ of 73 talks like, even if they're an adult. Linguists have analyzed his speech, and they've made it plain. He speaks English at a third grade level. This energized dumb people, because for the first time they could understand a presidential candidate. And they said things like, oh, he speaks his mind. He's the first guy that doesn't use a bunch of fancy words and confuse me. Now I finally understand what he's saying. And of course, what he was saying was a lot of things they wanted to hear. They were the racist dog whistles. And so you had a beautiful alliance, from their perspective, of racists and stupid people. The lower 12% of the IQ distribution corresponds perfectly to Trump's supporters. Now, these people are so intelligent that there's actually a federal statute that prohibits their induction into military service. They didn't want to have a repeat, Congress didn't want to have a repeat of the McNamara's Morons incident from Vietnam, which is a notorious thing you can look up on your own. McNamara's Morons, it's called. Basically, we had a Secretary of Defense who had the idea that, hey, why don't we recruit low intelligence people, send them to war and see what happens. And what happened was they died in droves, and of course things got worse. And so they didn't want that to happen again, so they actually passed a law. You're not allowed to recruit and induct into military service the lowest 12% on the IQ range. But they're still allowed to vote, and Trump energized them. He made dumb people think that they finally understood politics. He made people strut around proud of themselves thinking that they had a grasp of the issues, because they could tell on some level that Trump wasn't much smarter than they were, but there he was, a big shot. So he seemed like a champion for them. And of course, all these people forget that they aren't rich. They didn't have a dad hand them the equivalent of $412 million. And they can't do the things that Trump does, and they can't get away with the things Trump has gotten away with. And even Trump himself is not going to get away with them indefinitely. But the stage has been set, and this is where we're at. Basically, we have a fanatical core of low intelligence voters that are solidly behind Trump. They will back him no matter what he does or says, because they don't care what he does or says. They just know he's their guy. They understand him. They like him. He talks to them in a way that they can comprehend, and they are fanatical in their support of him. He has given them what they see as dignity and strength. And then at the other end of the spectrum are smart people from all walks of life. I actually used to be a Republican myself. I'm ashamed to admit it now, but I know I'm not alone. I mean, millions of people who make sure that they turn out to vote against Trump used to be actual Republicans, because the Republican Party is now nothing but a loony bin of the very low intelligent. And there's just no way that you can be associated with them at all. So now it's going to be, some range of conservative to liberal Democrats again, except that it'll mean something different than it used to mean. I mean, those Democrats won't be conservative because they're racist garbage people from the South. They'll be conservative because they have some other philosophy about the role of the market or of private enterprise or something like that in the economy. At any rate, this is the problem we have. It's basically now just the very low intelligent versus the high intelligence. And the thing is going to be decided by undecided people who don't pay any attention. People in the middle that don't pay attention to politics, no matter whether the politicians are smart or dumb. They just show up on election day and try to do their best. Those are the people you have to reach. You have to get them interested.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, see that? I know that bothers you guys, but anyway, some chick in here asked about the Trump sexual abuse allegations from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So let me provide you with those. Jessica Leeds. Oh, wait. Let me read this first. Donald Trump has faced multiple accusations of sexual misconduct, including groping and forced kissing, spanning the late 1970s through the 1990s. Trump has vehemently denied all allegations, often calling them politically motivated. And I know, guys, it's hard to believe a guy is a sexual abuser when he says things like, I just walk up to women and grab them by the pussy. I don't even ask permission. I know, right? It's almost like a guy like that would never do such a thing. Stupid fucks. All right. Late 70s, early 80s, Jessica Leeds. Leeds alleged that on a first-class flight to New York, Trump, who was a stranger to her, lifted the armrest, grabbed her breasts, and tried to put his hand up her skirt. She described him as like an octopus and fled to the back of the plane. Ivana Trump, 1989, in a sworn deposition during their divorce proceedings in the early 1990s, Trump's first wife, Ivana, described a violent sexual encounter with him as rape. In a later statement provided for the 1993 book, Lost Tycoon, she clarified that she did not want her words to be interpreted in a literal or criminal sense, and later fully recanted after he paid her, by the way. The allegation as without merit after their divorce settlement, which included a confidentiality clause. So he raped her. She just took it back because, she was paid to. Several women have also come forward with allegations of sexual misconduct by Trump from the 1990s. Kristen Anderson, early 90s. Anderson alleged that Trump touched her inappropriately under her skirt in a Manhattan nightclub. Stacey Williams, You mean he grabbed her by the pussy? I could have sworn he confessed to doing that before. Stacey Williams, 1993. Williams alleged that Trump groped her at the Trump Tower while Jeffrey Epstein was present. Interesting. Jill Harth, 1993. Harth filed a civil complaint accusing Trump of attempted rape at his Mar-a-Lago estate. She later dropped the lawsuit. E. Jean Carroll, which means, again, he probably paid her. So don't get too excited, MAGA. E. Jean Carroll, mid-1990s. Carroll alleged that Trump raped her in a department store dressing room. In civil trials in 2023 and 2024, juries found Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation and awarded Carroll significant damages. Lisa Boyne, 1996. Boyne alleged that Trump had models walk across a table so he could look up their skirts. Kathy Heller, 1997. Heller claimed Trump forcibly grabbed her and kissed her at a Mar-a-Lago at Mar-a-Lago. Her family corroborated her account. Witnesses. Temple Taggart, 1997. Taggart alleged that Trump kissed her without consent at the Miss USA pageant and in his office. Amy Doris, 1997. Doris alleged that Trump forcibly kissed and groped her at the U.S. Open. Karina Virginia, 1998. Virginia alleged that Trump grabbed her arm and touched her breast outside the U.S. Open. Pageant contestants, 1990. Several former Miss USA Miss Teen USA contestants accused Trump of entering their dressing room while they were undressed. And here, I got something else for your ass. Wait a minute. Is this it? Let me find it. Bear with me a second here. I took a screenshot of it. Michael Parker, 10 years old. Oral rape, Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, Florida, 1992. Trump paid his parents a $3 million settlement. So a 10-year-old said that he was orally raped at Mar-a-Lago by Donald Trump, and Trump paid his parents a $3 million settlement. I wonder why. That's not something a guilty or an innocent person would do, that's for sure. Kelly Feuer, 12 years old, $1 million settlement paid in 1989. Allegations of forced intercourse, Trump Tower, New York City. 12 years old. How about that? She got paid $1 million settlement from Trump, huh? Charles Bacon, 11 years old, $3 million, allegations of oral and anal intercourse, 1994, Trump Tower, New York City. Rebecca Conway, 13 years old, claimed intercourse and oral sex, Trump Vineyard Estates, Charlottesville, Virginia, 2012. Trump paid a $5 million settlement. Maria Oliveira, 12 years old. Her family was paid $16 million to settle accusations of forcible intercourse occurring in Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, Florida, 1993. What do you know? He's a pedophile. Thank you, Saxon. Yeah. Though I am disappointed Jeff isn't going to get it. I know. I kind of am too. I know. Maybe later or something. Maybe in the future if he does something to me. Who knows? Trump loves the poor and uneducated. Longer they stay away from him. He does love them. He said it himself. Romano for president, as in Nick. Yeah, I agree. Let me see. Trump loves the poor. Oh, I read that one. No one dumber than a dick sucking old. Wait a minute. Why am I all the way up here and my chat isn't moving? Okay, here we go. All right. Do your research. I just did. That Michael kid was a neighbor in Florida. What do you mean? A Trump's neighbor? Let's claim Trump supporters are racist while you're at it too. They absolutely are racist. What do you mean? They wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump if he wasn't racist. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy who was endorsed by the Klan and every white supremacist group in America. You feel me? So you're all racist. I mean, you voted for the guy because you want Mexicans deported. You don't care about any other type of illegal, just Mexicans and possibly Asians. And you were hooked on him once he said Mexicans are rapists. You know what I'm saying? You love his racism. You're all racist. And if he wasn't racist, you wouldn't vote for him. Justice for Trump's child victims. Yeah, no shit. Tara Reid, sexual misconduct. Biden and others showed Biden raped them. Yeah, Biden and other, what do you mean Biden and others showed Biden? And others showed Biden. Are you missing some punctuation or something? Yeah, Tara Reid, yeah. What do you want me to do? Defend Joe Biden? I don't care. I mean, I personally don't even know much about that case, but I know nothing ever came of it, and there's got to be a reason for that. So, and how old was Tara Reid? Let me see. I'm gonna do some research right now because I don't know much about it. Joe Biden's sexual misconduct allegation. In March 2020, during that year's election campaign for president of the United States, congressional aide Tara Reid alleged that Democratic nominee Joe Biden had sexually assaulted her in 1993 in a Capitol Hill office building when she was a staff assistant in his office. Biden denied Reid's allegation. Reid worked for Biden as a congressional aide in 1992 and 1993 and later attended Antioch University and Seattle University School of Law. She later worked as a domestic violence advocate. She said she suffered emotional and violent physical abuse from both her father and ex-husband, which motivated her to work on behalf of victims. Reid misrepresented herself and her life experiences on numerous occasions, including lying under oath and in court proceedings. For example, she falsely claimed to hold a bachelor's degree from Antioch University. Before accusing Biden of sexual assault in 2020, Reid made other comments that cast her encounters with Biden differently. In April 2019, Reid said that she filed a complaint in 1993 against Biden with a Senate Human Resources Office in which she alleged that Biden made her feel uncomfortable through comments she deemed demeaning, allegedly including a comment about her looks and request for Reid to serve drinks at a Senate event. However, in her complaint, Reid did not accuse Biden of any kind of sexual misconduct and made no mention of the alleged assault. In May 2023, Reed defected to Russia to seek Russian citizenship, citing security concerns. So she's insane. See, and this is why, if believe me, if this was some credible accusation, I would have known all about it. So it was a lying lady who changed her story numerous times about Biden and has completely lied about her life, misrepresented her life story on numerous occasions. So now compare that to all those people Trump paid millions and millions of dollars to, and tell me where's the comparison. Did Biden settle out of court with any of them? Did he get sued? Did he lose the lawsuit? Did he settle? Did he get convicted of criminal charges? Look, I put Biden sexual assault accusations or accusers. One woman, Tara Reid, has publicly accused President Joe Biden of sexual assault. Yeah, how'd that work out for you? Oh, you guys are too much. No, he hasn't had to pay anyone. No, but Donald Trump's been paying children's parents since 1989 for, according to them, raping them. You ever hear where there's smoke, there's fire? And now you're wondering why he's covering up the Epstein files. Why do you think she fled for safety? Because she's schizophrenic. That's why. She sounds schizophrenic. If you listen to what I just read, she sounds like a schizophrenic person. So that's why. What do you think? Joe Biden's going to have her killed? Are you serious? Her accusations weren't even credible. Why would he have to do that? She's just nuts. If Ivanka wrote in her diary that Trump showered with her, it's all the Dems and media would talk about. It depends. It depends on what it said. Like if Trump showered with Ivanka, it would have been when she was 19 or 13 or 9, or somewhere around that age. Joe Biden's daughter said showers that were probably not appropriate when she was a child. Probably not appropriate. She didn't even say inappropriate. Now, personally, I'll tell you straight up, I think a father showering with his daughter at any age is creepy as a motherfucker. Okay, but we also don't know if she was 3 months old at the time. We don't know anything. What we do know is that she has said publicly that he never molested her or abused her in any way. So, there's that. There's that. But I'll throw this back at you, go-getter. If Biden had all these things in his past that Trump did, you'd already had him. You'd already have him in your mind, and in the court of public opinion, you'd already have him tried and convicted. If Biden had even 1/10 of the shit Trump has in his past, there's literally dozens of reasons to believe Donald Trump is a pedo, and none to believe that Biden is, except for his daughter said when she was a child, they took showers that were probably not appropriate, and then went on to state that her words were grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context. Yeah, sure it is. Sure. That's what you fucking assholes say when you have no argument. Well, Kamala was running against him, of course. I don't even know if she said that. I wouldn't take it from you. How much you want to bet that's not true? Let's see, though. It might be. If it is, I'll say it is. Did Kamala Harris say that she believed Tara Reid about the Biden sexual assault allegations? Kamala Harris did not say that she believed Tara Reid's specific sexual assault allegations against Joe Biden. So, yeah. Try again. You guys make shit up as you go, just like your orange leader does. It's cheaper to settle out of court not saying he didn't do something improper. No. That's what you're saying. You think Donald Trump, of all people, the guy who wouldn't part with a fucking penny unless he absolutely had to, a guy that literally, when Don Jr. was joining the Boy Scouts in 1989 or 90, and there was an $8 registration fee. He had the check written out of the Trump Foundation, his charitable foundation, because he didn't want to pay the $8. You're telling me that guy just decided, yeah, give her 12 million, give him 5 million, give him 3 million. Listen, twist yourself into knots all you have to, bro. But you know better than that. And you know what's funny about all of you, even you, Ryan, is that none of you will just say, well, that is fucked up that he has all that shit in his past. That doesn't look good. Will any of you Trump supporters say that now? Did he pay the Girl Scouts back yet? Probably not. Kamala Harris said she believed Tara Reid fact checked. Yeah, I just checked and it said no. It said no, she didn't. So try again. Why does Trump give his check away? The emoluments clause said so he could take money from everywhere else. It's very simple. Look up the emoluments clause. There's foreign and then domestic. Trump has made $3.8 billion. 40% of his net worth was accumulated since January 20th of this year, since the beginning of his second term. Okay? That doesn't even include money he's made from all the shit that he's fucking selling, the watches and the Bibles and all that nonsense. It doesn't include the money that some very, very, very large corporations are given to him for his ballroom, which I'm sure exceed the amount that he needs for the ballroom. And he's not the first president to give his check away, and he does that for a reason. He does it for a reason. So you guys will be dumb enough to be like, he's not making money off of the office. He doesn't even take a check, dude. Meanwhile, that's literally why he doesn't take a check. So he could take money from foreign nations and everything else. In his first term, he took $7 million from foreign nations right into his business accounts. Research how Trump has increased his wealth. No need for salary when you're earning millions. Billions. He's not even... He's finally the rich guy that he always claimed to be. Finally, because of being a president. He dropped his crypto coin the day before he was inaugurated, for fuck's sake. Then he had a secret dinner at Mar-a-Lago with 200 of the biggest investors in his crypto coin. And they all showed up in masks and shit. They didn't want people to know who they were, and neither did he. Also, he just recently pardoned the CEO of Binance, CZ, okay? He just recently pardoned him, and it just so happens that around the time Trump started his second term, this guy got Trump a $2 billion investment in his crypto coin. And what do you know? He's pardoned. Also, Trump, Don Jr. and Eric are involved with this guy and business and crypto and shit. Okay. And when asked about pay to play, Trump denied that he even knew the guy he pardoned. He said, I don't even know who the guy is, which would blow your fucking auto pen bullshit out of the water, by the way, too. Let me see. Hold on. I'm sure somebody probably already got this, but gives his check away for looks. He doesn't care about 400K. Of course not. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't. Why, you want to get your fucking teeth knocked out? Is that what you're looking for? Maybe we'll run into each other someday. You never know. I guarantee you I'm not the liberal you think I am. Guarantee it. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to get going. I appreciate you all being here. Please like and subscribe. It's very, very important. Like and subscribe. And hey, if you feel like hitting the super thanks button, if you're watching the replay or something, feel free to do that too. Which ones exactly, Michael D. Haas, did he pardon? He gave $1 million to firefighters, a family that got killed at his rallies. That didn't come from him. That was literally a billionaire who donated it. Even at the RNC, Donald Trump pointed to the guy and said, he's giving you $1 million. Yeah, So that did not come from Trump. Trump would never give anyone $1 million. Matter of fact, Trump's comments that day were that, his wife is going to feel all better now that she got $1 million because he doesn't even understand love. He doesn't even understand it. By the way, we didn't even get to the fact that Trump glazed Zoran Mamdani, because I'm really curious as to how you guys feel about that. But I'm going to get going. We'll have to do it tomorrow night, but I'll be back. See you later. Peace.